everyone, my name is Steph, this is the Novelty Corner, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome to my March reset video. I'm filming this on the 24th of February, so it is not quite the end of the month, which does make it hard because I'm going to go through some stats and the stats aren't going to necessarily be accurate for the end of the month, but that's okay, it's totally fine. We're just going to roll with it because of the way the days fall this year. I will hopefully have uploaded a 24-hour day in the life vlog where I'm actually going to be attempting to tidy up the disaster that is my apartment, which is technically like a reset. We'll see how that goes because I hate cleaning, but you'll already know because the vlog will already have been up by the time this video goes live. Also, this month I'm a co-host for the role of Reid's readathon, hosted by Mel from a book fiend named Mel. This is her TBR game that she plays, and we are basically doing a whole month readathon based on the game. And I'm very excited to be one of the co-hosts. I'll leave everyone else linked down below, so you can use the timestamps to jump around. I will be doing my role of Reid's TBR of 10 books in this video as well. Like, I still have my priority sort of TBR things that I'm going to be doing, but I'm not going to be doing a separate spinner wheel to decide my TBR because I'm going to use Mel's game instead. All right, let's jump straight into the stats. So up to the 23rd of February, I have read 43 books and a total of 9,190 pages. And I've had 8 rereads so far this month. Most of those were picture books. There was also 1 DNF. My top 3 books so far have been The Long Game by Rachel Reid, Scoreless Game by Anna Zabo and LA Witt. Both of these are queer hockey romance stories. One of them is the last book in a series. One of them is the second book in a series. Thoroughly enjoyed them. I've talked about them in Books Beside My Bed videos already this month. And also Orbital by Samantha Harvey, which is a literary science fiction-y type novella and is just very beautiful and lyrical and is a very interesting, very slow story of 6 astronauts reflecting on being in orbit around the Earth. Bit of a contrast between those 3 books, but some really interesting reads. In terms of my bingo board from hell progress this month, it's actually been pretty good. My 12 audiobooks square, you guys know last month I actually completed it. So at the end of last month it was at 12, I'm now at 15, so I've read 3 more books. I'm well on the way to a 2nd star, but as predicted, I did drop my audiobook listens down already because while I'm working, it's a little bit harder to listen to audiobooks all day, every day. In terms of my read 50% of my pre-2024 TBR, I have read 5 more physical books off my pre-2024 TBR, so I am now sitting at 13% read. For my 24 rereads square, I was sitting at 7 and I'm now at 12, so halfway there, and I still have 1 more reread to do in February. For my 12 middle grade books, I was sitting at 2 at the end of last month. I'm now at 6, so I've added 4 books to that, and we are going into middle grade March, so I will hopefully be picking up some more middle grade books. We'll see what gets added to the TBR, but then I might try and mood read a few other bits and pieces to try and bring that number up. In terms of reading 80% of my set February TBR, so last month I had 17 set books on my TBR, which meant I had to read 14 of them. I have so far read or DNF'd 15 of the 17, so I've hit that. I've hit 88% of that goal, and I still have 2 more books left to read. But because I did hit 80% of that, I do get a star for it, and I do get to add money into my book buying fund. The next square was finish or catch up on my 12 series. I did complete 1 series this month. It was Game Changers, and I have read a couple of other books in other series, so I am making progress here and I'm very happy about that. We are now at a completed 2 series. For my goal of 9 non-fiction books, I was sitting at 4 at the end of last month. I'm now at 5 because I read Wild Things by Sally Rippin. For the Friends Control My TBR square, I did complete that this month. Julie picked my TBR. There is a vlog for it. Yay, we count this as a win. This is 1 star for me, and money goes into the book buying fund. And then finally, for my Clear My NetGalley arc TBR, I did read 2 more books for this. I read A Love Song for Ricki Wilde and also Body of Lies, but I have also added another book. So I still currently have 2 books sitting on my NetGalley TBR. Don't worry, the one that I added was a Katee Yardley book, and of course I was always going to add that. That was never not going to happen. I reckon 2 more to go is pretty good. So ultimately, at the end of this round of the bingo board from hell, I have achieved 2 stars for this month, which is great. So that's $40 into my book buying fund. And also, if I count up so far books I've read, I get 50 cents for every book that I read in a month to put towards that book buying fund. That's another $21.50, so I've got $61.50, possibly a couple of extra dollars, depending on how many books I get through by the end of the month. We're going well. Not that I've stopped buying books this month, because I've actually bought a lot of books, mostly kids' books, for work. Like, it all balances out, but these I will specifically look at things that I want to add to my permanent adult collection. So moving into my priority reads. So I'm going to do my priority reads and sort of challenges, and then I'm going to move into roll of reads. Again, use the timestamps if you want to jump around. This month, I don't have any specific friend book club books that I have to read, but I do have the Buzzwordathon book for this month. It is a challenge to read a book with a character name in the title. So I'm going to read Polly and Buster by Sally Rippin. This is a middle grade novel, and I am very excited to read this. Sally Rippin is an Australian author. She's been named the Children's Laureate for the next 2 years, and she does a lot of work in the space of advocating for students with dyslexia and writing books specifically to help kids with dyslexia. And this is one I have been meaning to read because the main character Polly does have dyslexia, and it is meant to be great. My other priority reads are review copies. They're all middle grade actually, which is great. So there is Look Me in the Eye by Jane Godwin. This was sent to me by Hachette. I will also be using this for the monthly Bookemon challenge to read a book with orange, white and black on the cover. Also counts for middle grade March, although this is definitely going to be an upper middle grade title. It will not be a 9-10-year-old middle grade title. And then the other book that I have is Paper Dragons, The Fight for the Hidden Realm by Siobhan McDermott. Again, middle grade title. This was sent to me by Hodder via Hachette. I'm very excited to try this out. I believe this is a debut book, but also it will cover the Bookemon challenge for a book club book, because this is the March book club pick for Meg Reads as a Sprinkle of Magic book club. Lots of middle grade on the TBR already. We're super quickly going to do the Annotation Project pick. I won't have done an annotation video for last month. I just didn't get a chance to do it, and it just didn't fit in the schedule, but I have annotated the book. All right. Scratchy, scratchy, scratchy. All right, it is Brick Walls, which I will get when I set up the TBR basket. For my KU project, the oldest book on my TBR from KU is Chances by Lee Jacquot, so I will be picking that one up. And then finally from my Kindle backlist, we're only going to pick one this month because I'm going to do 10 reads, 10 rolls for roll of reads. What is in the stuff? Let's not lose the star. Stroopwafels and Starlight. I vaguely remember getting this in one of the Stuff Your Kindle Day sales. Can't remember what it is though. I believe it is sci-fi romancy. All right, so now we are moving into my Roll of Reads TBR. So Roll of Reads is Mel's TBR game. Essentially, you have a stack of cards. She did have a printed set of cards. My printer isn't working, so I just handwrote them on some little craft cards. You have the TBR cards, which you lay out in a 4x5 grid. Then you have reward and punishment cards to go alongside it. There are a bunch of rules. If you roll a 1 or a 20, you get a reward or a punishment. But essentially, you just roll a d20, and then whichever number corresponds with a card, that's your prompt. So I have pre-filmed the rolls just because I'm me and I know how I run out of time doing these things. So we're going to start with roll number 1. Roll number 1 was a random color. So we are going to see if we can bring up a random color generator. Okay, so this one just does a whole screen. So we are going to do it 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Ooh, blue. I think the closest I can get is Hunt on Dark Waters. Like this blue kind of matches this blue. So we might go with that. Let's get on to roll number 2. Roll number 2 was a host favorite, and for this I have gone with one of Paige's recommendations, and that is What You Are Looking For Is in the Library by Michiko Aoyama. And I am very intrigued by this. It's set in a library. Like, I'm a bookish person. This is going to be intriguing, and this is a little bit outside my comfort zone. It is a genre I don't just necessarily pick up all the time, so yay. And I think it's translated too. It will be nice to start reading some more translated work that are not just kids' books or poetry. Roll number 3. Roll number 3 is a random selection on KU, Libby, or Library. I'm going to do KU. I currently have 20 books out on it, and we are just going to do a random number generator. Choose a number between 1 and 20. Okay, the number is 16. We are going to see what number 16 on my KU TBR actually is, because I have no idea. It would probably help if I had KU open. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 is Morbidly Yours by Ivy Fairbanks, which I've actually been excited to read. That's a good pick. All right, what are we up to? Roll number 4. Was Mental or Physical Health Rep. And for this, I'm going to read Growing Up Disabled in Australia, because this will feature a cross-section of different mental and physical health stories. These are non-fiction essays about real people's lives, and this collection of Growing Up in Australia series is just amazing. I've read quite a few of them in the past, but I've been meaning to pick this one up for ages, and I'm very excited that it's going to be in March. All right, roll number 5. Roll number 5 is a recent purchase, and this book isn't my most recent purchase, but I did pick it up in February, and that is Tiger Daughter by Rebecca Lim. This is an Australian young adult title that I've been meaning to read. I picked it up for $1 at one of my local charity shops, and I just would like to get to it sooner rather than later so it doesn't sit on my TBR for ages. Roll number 6. Roll number 6 was Favourite Author, and for this I'm going to read Alcott Hall by Emily Rath, because this means I also complete a series, because this is the last book that I have to read, and this one is a Why Choose Historical Regency Romance series. So I'm excited about this one. Roll number 7. Okay, this one was Social Media Scroll, which to be honest I'm a little bit nervous about, because I'm going to start with Instagram and see if I find something that I want to read, but my Instagram historically does not show up a lot of bookish related items. So let's start recording and see what we can find. Okay, I've read the Fae Guardian series. Okay, no, that's just an ad. I have read the Seattle Serpents and the Carolina Comet series. I've read Castles of Never and Nightmares. I'm not reading Little Women. I've read Future Girl. I've read Twilight. I'm not rereading it. Although that would be funny, but no. That's Castles of Never and Nightmares. It does feature dragons. I totally forgot to say that in my wrap-up. The Anti-Racist Kitchen, no. I'm trying not to buy things. Lots of hockey, lots of baby stuff, because my algorithm now picks up that I have a niece, and lots of things on Gaza. Okay, based on Taylor Swift lyrics. Fred Takeover. Do you know what? Maybe I'll read Unnecessary Drama by Nina Kenwood. Maybe I will try and get a copy of that, because I haven't read it and I've been meaning to read Nina Kenwood. All right, roll number 8. 8, oh my gosh, I can't count. Okay, so this was a pet pick. I don't have a pet here, and I'm not going all the way over to Benny's house for this video. And it was also a random number generator. So what I think I will do, because I haven't done my rare spinner wheel for my random number generator, I'm going to use my rare 2023 book spinner wheel, because why not? Although I don't think this is up to date. So this could be interesting. All right, let's see who we get. Elise Faber. Okay, pause please. Okay, so I have 3 Elise Faber books. These 2 I collected at Rare. This was from a charity anthology. So Luke and Lexi was a freebie at Rare, just on the free table. And Blocked was a book that I purchased. It's the first book, I think, in the Gold Hockey series. She writes hockey romance. Iced features Blocked, as well as the next 2 books in the series, Backhand and Boarding, and Empty Net, which is an exclusive novella. I will promise to read one of these. I'm going to put them all in the basket, but I'm only going to read one of them. I've got to wrap up filming. It's very hot. Okay, roll number 9. This was favorite color on the cover. And just because I want to try and bring down some of my backlist, we're going to go with Third Time Lucky by Jenny Q. This has this pinkish red color that I love. Like, this is my favorite lipstick. So we're going to go with this one, Contemporary Romance, Australian author. And finally, my last roll for Roll of Reads is roll 10. Rolls were just smiling on me. It is favorite genre. Obviously, romance is a favorite genre. I'm also going to go back into my backlist as well as my books that will self-destruct by the end of the year, and I'm going to read Before You Were Mine by Ida Brady. I've tried to put this on my TBR before. I'm going to read it this month. That's a lot. So now we are going to reset the TBR basket, which you'll also notice that I'm going to put some picture books in there. They're not counting as things that I have to read. They're just things that I'm going to be working on sporadically throughout the month. If the basket looks a little bit fuller than what I've talked about, that's why. So that is it for my reset this month. It's a lot. It's a lot. I need some tea. In the comments, I would love to know if you've read any of these books or if you're planning on picking any of them up. We are now going to jump into me setting up my digital reading journal, cover pages and things like that. And I'm hoping I will get a chance to film at least my reading stats journal setup. I probably won't get to my Hobonichi setup this month just because I'm very, very, very behind. Very behind. But I will have the others in there for you to check out, as well as my video filming schedule for March. So stay tuned. If you want to let me know that you're here but you don't want to leave a comment, feel free to leave some dice for the Roll of Reads readathon this month. Otherwise, I hope that wherever you're in the world, you're staying safe and healthy, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye everyone.